Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cuddle with Purpose show. On today's topic, we're going to be discussing Rich Paul and Adele. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this on the Cuddle with Purpose show is because there has been some alleged rumors that are being out there, and we at the Cuddle with Purpose, we wanted to kind of like give our opinion, to give our little, our little pizzazz on the situation. Because at Cuddle with Purpose, we thrive on celebrating marriage. We feel here is that marriages are being under attack, and marriage is having a negative connotation to it, where people think that marriage is no longer good, and people think getting married is a bad thing. And we want to try to dispel those type of negative rumors. And yes, we call them negative rumors because we believe in marriage with Cuddle with Purpose. Me and my wife, we've been together for 7+ years, and it's something that we strive on. It is something that we dedicate our life to each other to, in being able to stay consistent with our love, stay consistent with peace, stay consistent with happiness. Marriage is not always perfect, but it's perfect just for us. And we've always had the mindset, as long as you think about marriage and as long as you think positively and always focus on yourself to being the best version of yourself first, then you can focus on that would naturally go towards in being a helpmeet to your spouse. A lot of times in marriages is that people stop focusing on being the best versions of themselves, and they think just for they want to tailor to their spouse, they think that that's going to be a good thing. That is not necessarily healthy. What you want to do is be the best version of yourself, because once you start focusing on yourself and being the best version that you can be, and being committed, being trustworthy, being respectful, when you do those things, automatically it's going to make the marriage better. Okay. And never stop working on your marriage. Whatever you need to do to improve on your marriage, whether it's that through marriage counseling, whether that's through therapy, whether it's that some actually doing some self-care things for yourself, what you need to do is always work on your marriage. And you just don't work on it when things go bad. You want to be proactive, right? And that's what we believe at Cuddle with Purpose, being proactive and doing those things to be able to improve your marriage. And that's what brings long standing marriages. Okay. So we're going to get into the topic of conversation with Rich Paul and Adele. Both of them are very successful people in their own right. Adele, her net worth is around 220 million, and Rich Paul, his net worth is around 120 million. With Rich Paul, he has done over $1 billion in sales. Owning his own agency, he is the agent of LeBron James. And if you don't know who Adele is, I strongly encourage you to listen to some of her songs. One of my favorite songs of hers is "Make Me Feel You." I'm gonna show you how much I love you. And I really love that song. So with that being said, man, I want to just do an open platform. I communicated about this a couple of days ago in our open discussion live stream. What I'm going to do is we're going to share a link, and we're going to put it into the comic section, and we're going to give an opportunity of any of our subscribers, if they want to chime in and communicate about the relationship with Rich Paul and Adele, because there has been some kind of negative rumors that's been out there. One of them is that some people feel that in Adele's camp, in her entourage, is that they feel that Rich Paul is not a good fit for her. And their reasoning is because they feel that he is not trustworthy. They feel that he is just using her. They feel that he will not be the person to want to stay with Adele long term. Now, wherever they getting that information from, I don't know. Like I said, we're going to just give our opinion in our own way as a Color with Purpose brand. One thing that is very important is that when you get in a relationship, is that you're going to have different people, and people that's probably your best friend, people that are close to you, that's going to have a lot of say so in certain things. One thing that we strongly encourage people that when you decided to come together, and especially Adele and Rich Paul are engaged right now, is that you want to make very, very sure that y'all are a tight knit unit. And what we mean by that is that you want to make sure that you don't allow anyone to come between the covenant that you and your fiance has made. Because if you stay together long enough, you're going to find is that you're going to have some people that's going to have their opinions. And sometimes people's opinions will not be in the best interest of you and the relationship. And sometimes people will form their own opinion where it could be based off on jealousy. It could be based off on they just don't want to see you happy. I'm telling you the truth is that you have to listen to your gut. You have to be able to say to yourself is that, you know what, we're going to form a pact. Me and my fiance, we're going to form a pact, and we're going to have a covenant together that we will not allow anyone to break through that pact that we have formed to be able to cause confusion in our relationship. Let me say this. Rich Paul is wealthy. Rich Paul has worked hard to get where he's at. And I will say is that I feel that he loves Adele. I feel that he loves being with her. He loves spending time with her, but he's also building a business just as well as Adele. She has a lot of things that she's doing as well, but you can make it work if y'all want to make it work. Yes, there are going to be separation anxiety and things of that nature, but this is what you signed up for when you want to be wealthy and also a very important person to the world. Now, with that being said, is that whatever, if those alleged rumors are true, um, I would say that we believe is that when you have worked so hard for something, when you have worked so hard for something and you have built up a large amount of money, of wealth, of accumulated, of material things that are wealth that pass on for generations and generations to come, it's very important to protect your assets. That does not mean you don't love your fiance. That does not mean you don't love your fiance. That does not mean you're not going to love your future husband, your future wife. That means is that y'all is in a place where y'all have reached a level of success in y'all before y'all got together, and you want to put things up for protection just in case that things don't go wrong. Now, I know people are going to say that, you know what? I feel that you shouldn't have to do that. If you trust in the union of marriage, that you shouldn't have to worry about doing a prenup. Some people disagree with prenups. Now, some of the things that are being said is that Rich Paul doesn't necessarily like the prenuptial agreement that Adele and her team has created. But I'm looking back at the situation. That's an alleged rumor. Let's say that Rich Paul doesn't feel any type of way of signing that prenuptial agreement. It would be in the best interest for him to sign a prenuptial agreement as well. Let me say this, man. Rich Paul is wealthy. Rich Paul has assets. He has a net worth of over $100 million. It will behoove him to protect himself as well. Now, this is where things have to have an understanding between them two, is to come together and say that we love each other. We want to spend the rest of our lives together. We want to be able to set a date for our wedding, and they're already talking about having a child together. It's been alleged rumors they already talked about it. Adele have talked about it. Rich Paul has talked about it. And I believe it's an awesome and it's a fantastic thing. But you want to make sure that you lay the foundation because y'all have accumulated wealth before y'all got together. So this shouldn't even take long, or this shouldn't even really be a real big deal because both of y'all have money. Both of y'all are have worked so hard to create a level of comfortability for both spouse, for both people. So why not protect yourself, then continue to love on each other, continue to focus on the type of life that y'all want to live together, and if it's having a child, then have at it, go with it full throttle. But don't forget the necessity of protecting yourself because you're not the average couple, you're not the average person. You're multimillionaires, and you have to protect your business entities, and you have to protect your wealth. Now, whatever y'all accumulate together, y'all come together and make a decision within those prenuptial agreement on how y'all would divide those things. I know it's not a popular thing to talk about, and I know some people may feel a certain type of way on the show when we're talking about taking care of business first and moving on with your relationship. If we have anybody that would like to chime in on that, you're more than able to come on, tap on that link in the comment section and give your opinion on the situation with a prenuptial agreement between the two of them. There are four ways before I go on with this topic of discussion on our live stream. What I would like to do is just say that there are four ways. We appreciate all our subscribers on our YouTube channel. We've worked very hard to create content to promote love and marriage because that's what we're about. And we're about living the life and not pretending the life. And in this, we want to just say thank you to all of our subscribers for helping us to reach close to 18,000 subscribers. We're on our way, and we're just going to continue to grow and pour back into our channel. But there are four free ways to support our channel. It will be a tremendous help of support from each and every subscriber on our channel. The first way is that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is totally free. It doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Number two is to like our videos, like our content. That is a free way. You are not being charged anything to like. The third way is to comment. Comment because it's very important. We want our content to hit on the algorithms of YouTube because this is something that we love to do. So when you actually do comment, that is engagement on our actual content, and it does help push our content out to the YouTube algorithm to be able to share to the masses. And the fourth and final free way is when we do have open discussions, live streams like this, is that you can actually tap on the link that we share in the comment section. And it's a fourth free way to support our channel. And you can hop on. You can hop on based off on the topic of discussion. You can give your humble opinion of the topic of discussion, and we want our subscribers to be able to have the platform to share on our platform about your opinions, your beliefs, because y'all mean a lot to us, and we appreciate for y'all helping our channel to have over 18,000 subscribers and counting. It is a true blessing, and we really do appreciate everyone. Now, let's get back into the topic of conversation, shall we? So, based on what we were saying with the prenuptial agreement, it's so very important is that when you are of a certain stature of like Adele and Rich Paul, and you have worked very hard and you have reached a status quo financially, you want to make sure that you protect your assets as much as possible, because at the end of the day, anything can happen, right? And we understand that. And we hoping and we are praying that their marriage is able to flourish and able to live together for a long, prosperous season in their life and be able to experience all the abundance of marriage, right? But you also want to make sure from the status of where you at that you want to make sure that you protect yourself. And also you want to make sure that you take care of the things that needs to be taken care of when you're together. It's almost on the same wavelength as when you're together, is that you're as a married couples, it's very important to have a will. It's very important to be able to have a living will, just in case if anything was to happen to either one of you. If you have children, it behooves you even more to have a living will. That is very important, and it's on the same stature. A lot of times people can have their beliefs, but these are the mature adult way in handling things, especially when you have accumulated a large amount of wealth like Adele and Rich Paul. Now, on the other hand, and I must say this as far as communication purposes, if you're a person that really doesn't have that much wealth and you feel that you really don't have anything, then there's no need for you to do a prenup. You can still do a prenup. And I am not an attorney, and this is not for attorney privilege for me able to give you counsel, because I am not. This is just my alleged opinion. Okay. So if you definitely want to seek um, legal counsel in that situation, we strongly recommend you to be able to contact a legal advised attorney to be able to give you the best reasonable opinion on what needs to be done, especially if you have a fiance and y'all are on the verge of getting married. Now, with that being said, it's important you can do certain prenups and you can sign certain prenups. And that way, if you do know that you're going to be making a large amounts of wealth, you can set up a prenup in agreement, in ingredients to that, or before that, if you know it on certain dates. But this is something that sometimes it can be a hindrance in the relationship, because sometimes people or that particular person may feel like, oh, you think I'm gonna try to take your money. And sometimes emotions can get involved. And Lord knows if you allow someone else on the outside to give their opinion, and things can get out of whack very easily. And that's some of the alleged rumors that are being said, that there is some friction between the prenuptial agreement. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, is that Rich Paul is wealthy. He has his own money. He's not a broke black man, and he has his money as well as Adele too, as well. Sign the prenup on both sides. Both of y'all cover your assets and your wealth, and then you move on with your life together. Okay. Now, it's important to talk about, far as on this channel, Color with Purpose, is they're talking about having a child together. Now, each one have their own child. And one of the things about Rich Paul, he had actually did a set down, and he had kind of engaged into a conversation about when he was younger and when he had his child, how he didn't feel that he was the best dad that he could be. And the reason why he said that, because when you're trying to create wealth and he's trying to run his own business, he didn't have that much time with his child as he wanted to. But now, since he has separated himself and has a level of comfort financially, he is more able to focus on his child and to be able to move forward and be able to be in that child's life from start and moving on up from there. And the reason why we wanted to share this article, because this article is something that is good to talk about when you're talking about the situation between Rich Paul and Adele. And what Rich Paul and Adele have said is that they have been so in love together, and they're looking forward to the moment where they can have their own child together. And that is a beautiful thing when you see things like this, when you have two people that are in love and they're coming together and they're saying to themselves that, you know what, man, We are excited for one another and we can't wait to have our own child. And that's what it's all about when you form together as a union, when you have a covenant, and now you want to build a family. And, with Cuddle with Purpose, with the Rich Paul and Adele, we wish them nothing but success in their relationship and in their marriage. And, one of the most important things, as I was mentioning earlier, is so very important that you protect your marriage at all costs. That is very important to protect your marriage. And the reason why is you want to make sure that you protect your marriage in such a way that you don't allow certain negativity to be able to infiltrate in your relationship and can cause confusion in your relationship. So many times people that are in relationship feels the need that they have to communicate to someone outside their marriage when things are not really going well. And I promise you, and this is not, wishing no harm on anybody in relationships, but if you have been married or in a relationship long enough, you understand what I'm about to say. Marriage and relationship is not going to always be perfect. There are going to be some bumps in the roads. There are going to be some things that you're not going to like that your partner do. But at the end of the day, it's so very important is to keep people out your relationship, especially if you are a private person, especially if you're a person don't like people in your business, then we strongly recommend don't tell your business. If you don't tell your business, you're not going to give someone an opportunity to tear down your business, which is your marriage or which is your relationship. And that's the very important to talk about because I think a lot of times people get into a relationship and when they come up against hard times in their relationship, they tend to talk too much or tend to say something to somebody that they shouldn't have. And then one thing you have to understand that when you're in that relationship and then when things get back on track, guess what? The person who you told, they're going to always have in the back of their mind the negative connotation that you said about your partner when y'all wasn't on good times. If you agree with that, put a like on this video or comment. Let us know if you're engaging or if you're feeling what we're saying because it's so very important is that you keep things in house in your relationship. You want to protect your relationship as much as possible, and your marriage deserves that. Your marriage deserves the protection. It deserves the right that you have an understanding that what y'all have together is forever. That should be the thought process. This is an eternity of a life journey that you and your life partner is going to have. And you want to make sure that you're protecting it at all costs. You want to make sure that you're not tearing down your life partner by saying things that you don't like about them because they are not at their best at this time. Because there's going to come a time in the relationship where you're not going to be at your best. But it's so very important that you want to keep things in house. Okay. So, one of this thing about the union, if we go on this article right here, is that when Adele got divorced and she was in a nasty divorce, she talks about raising her child. And she talked about, longing to getting into a relationship again and wanting to have a child once she has been dating Rich Paul. And it appears that he brings out the best of her. I know she was on the Oprah Winfrey show and she talks about being so, did not have self care for herself. She was a person that was ashamed somewhat. And she talks about it even in her songs. But it's so very important that in relationship is that you center yourself, that you understand who you are as a person. Because let me tell you something, if you don't love yourself, you have to be able to love yourself if you want to move forward and getting in a relationship with somebody and y'all coming in together and creating something beautiful. That is so very important that in relationships is that both of you love yourself. Because once you love yourself, you can love someone else. And this is one of the things that we like about Rich Paul and Adele is that they have been through some things in their personal life, but they have worked hard to kind of like put things in perspective where they can kind of slow down and really build a life with their life partner. And it appears that both of them is in the stage of their business career where they can actually focus on their love life, and they're together, they're engaged, and they're already planning a wedding, and they're already planning of wanting to have a child together. And that is a beautiful thing, man. And if y'all just joining in on this live stream, if you have any questions, if you have any beliefs that you have that you want to chime in on this topic of conversation, feel free to tap on that link that is in the comment section, and you can share your thoughts and your opinions, whether it's about love, marriage, or the topic of conversation, Rich Paul and Adele relationships. So we're about to get ready to wrap it up. It's getting close to that 30-minute mark. And what we wanted to do is kind of just close in closing with Cuddle with Purpose and with relationships is that, the like an outline, a summary of what we talked about. We've talked about the importance of protecting your marriage, the importance of protecting your union with the person that you're with, your life partner. And you want to make sure that you're not allowing outside people or outside negative toxic people come in your relationship and allow that to be broken up. You want to make sure that you're protecting it at all costs. You want to make sure that when things are not going well, that you handle that in-house as much as possible. You want to make sure that you believe in the power of trust. You believe in the power of respect. You believe in the power of love in a union. And that's what's going to make a marriage long lasting. Because at the end of the day, it's about loving on each other, but it's about you being the best version of yourself. So that way you can bring the marriage, the relationship, and continue to grow to the next level. Hey, once again, we appreciate all the subscribers chiming in on this live stream, and do us a favor. Those 4 free things that you can do on our channel. You can actually subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can actually go and like the content on our YouTube channel. You can comment on our content. And also when we do have these open discussions, these live streams, and when we share the link, if you would like, you can actually tap on that link and join in on our live stream. And we'll see you soon on the next live stream. Take care.